Welcome to Seth's Daily Podcast. Without you guys, this wouldn't be possible. I want to thank you guys for subscribing. We're blessed enough to have an interview with director, YouTuber, engineer, scientist Luke Fugate. How are you doing today, man?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
Hey, living the dream, brother. No, I'm doing good. That's a pretty cool setup you got back there, and that was part of your movie that you directed, right?
This is actually for the next one, but yeah, I just kind of got. Well, it's only done to about right here, so if I move the camera back, you'll just see a bare wall.
Yeah, that's
This is
still
all
pretty.
this stuff you can get from like Lowe's, just little pieces of plastic. But I I have to do budget films because I don't have a whole lot of money, so you know.
Now, what inspired your movie, your last one?
Um, well, I just always liked science fiction stuff, and I've wrote books and stuff like that in the past, and I always wanted to do a little film. So I asked my family if they want to help me make one, and they said yeah. So I started writing the script, and I guess it turned out okay for a first movie, but hopefully it'll get better.
And that movie has over like 1,000 views, don't it?
Uh, it shows me over 2,000, but it's when I go on to like go look through another account, it shows 1,800. So I don't know where the extra 200 come from, but
Either way, that's pretty good for your first movie. And on YouTube, just to get 1,000 views on anything is good.
yeah, yeah. A lot of my videos, a couple of hundred. That's if I'm lucky.
Yeah, I got a few with thousands of views. It's definitely hard to get 1,000 views, so that's impressive, man. That your first movie has over 1,000 views.
Well, I appreciate that. It's it's kind of clunky, but it's well, it's my first one, so you know maybe this one will be better.
You said it was a comedy, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's a comedy, sci-fi kind of thing, and it's a little goofy, but it worked for us. We had a blast making it and made the family kind of closer together. And so I think that's what I like more about it than anything was just the the togetherness of the family stuff. You know, it just spent all this time together. You know, I don't know. I thought it was fun like that.
Definitely, man. And you actually built your own like van and turned it into like kind of a camper, didn't you?
Yeah, I did a van and a bus. Actually, a long time ago, I made a car, like a Cavalier into a camper, and I camped in it once or twice. It was just it was too small.
That's really cool, man.
I think.
Yeah, that's definitely cool. So you're definitely like into like UFOs and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah. I am. Uh, I don't know what I've seen before. I've seen stuff that I couldn't identify, so it was unidentified, you know, flying object. I don't know what it was, so you know, but so I guess yeah, I kind of am.
Yeah,
That goes into all the sci-fi stuff too, you know, where I like sci-fi. It's kind of goes together, I guess.
yeah, definitely inspired the movie for sure.
Yeah, yeah, it did.
Yeah, yeah, I got love for UFOs as well. I mean, it's just interesting, man. I've heard some crazy stories. This one guy, he seen like a a white light up in the sky, and it just kept moving like really fast and stuff like that around Carshort Lake.
Oh, oh, so close by.
Yeah, it was just a white light, and it went like boom. Well, he said it was going really fast. That's
Huh.
actually on a podcast that I did a few years ago.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Story is, but yeah, that's a cool story, man. That kind of coexists with the idea of like UFOs going underwater and stuff. Maybe they get like extra battery and stuff like that from going underwater. That's what some people believe.
Yeah. I mean, I guess they could have perfected the process of electrolysis, and they just get the water and they make hydrogen and oxygen out of it. Maybe, but you know.
Hey, that's a good theory.
It could be.
Yeah.
It,
Some people think they also go down there to hide when people see them and stuff.
yeah. I mean, it would be excellent cover.
Yeah. And Carter Lake isn't very highly traveled either, like at night.
No,
So that'd be a perfect area to hide.
it would. Yeah.
Definitely, man. Yeah, UFOs is definitely one of my favorite subjects. I've seen one before when I was like a little kid outside. It looked like a dish, but it was like going really fast. I mean, that could have possibly been a satellite.
Maybe, but I mean, uh, a lot of people report like they move really fast, but there's not no sound and no obvious means of propulsion.
Yeah, I didn't hear nothing.
Yeah, I mean that would be some other kind of technology because we don't have that yet. So you
Yeah,
know,
I seen a red light. That's all I remember. I seen red lights. It was fast, man.
I mean they could be using like some kind of gravity manipulation or something to move.
Yeah, it looked like a dish thing though. You know, like the old school dishes that they
Yeah.
used to use, like the big old ones. That's what it looked like.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I at the time I didn't know what it was. Still don't know what it was, but just thinking about it gives me like chills.
Yeah.
It was crazy. I was probably around 5 or 6 at the time. I think I've told that story before. I told that story somewhere. I can't remember. But yeah, that was crazy, man. That's the only unidentified flying object I've seen, but I still remember it to this day.
Oh, yeah. I bet that's something so unusual that that'll stick with you.
Yeah. I did hear reports of in Knott County a few years ago, somebody seen like an unidentified flying object and their radio stopped playing in their car.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. I've heard stuff like that before. That somehow they interfere with the electronics and just shuts a vehicle down.
Yeah, I actually hear that from more than one person. It the same story at the
Oh,
same area. I ain't gonna say where it happened at, but
yeah.
it was somewhere in Knott County. I ain't gonna say who told me either. It was multiple people though, so that makes it more credible too, because these people don't even know each other, and it was in multiple cars that it happened.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So they can kind of confirm each other's story that way.
Coexist each other's stories without even talking to each other and knowing about it.
Yeah.
I actually got told that it's when you do this stuff like podcast stuff, people feel more comfortable telling you that stuff as long as you don't put their
Right.
name out there and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. 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 Because they feel that they're with somebody that has you know, like beliefs, and stuff like that. So they feel more comfortable. That does make
definitely.
sense.
Yeah, definitely, man. And I mean that story right there. I mean you're into that type of stuff. Like you know more about electronics than me. So what's your expertise on that? Like the radio stopped playing.
It could be some sort of electromagnetic pulse, or maybe uh, their power source uh, could potentially draw power from any electrical around it. Like if they go through an area of like where you got power lines and stuff, they could potentially draw power from the power lines through induction or something. Or maybe their drive produces an EMP whenever they start and stop or something. There's a lot of things it could be, but you know, with our knowledge of technology, we just don't know enough about it to make any real guesses.
Yeah, it is weird that it happened in more than one vehicle though, for sure.
Right, yeah. Yeah, that sounds like maybe it was some kind of an EMP. And I mean, it could possibly have been to disable the vehicles to keep people from being able to run and report it or something and give them time to get away before anybody could report it.
That's a good
I don't
chance,
know.
man. That's a good chance. That's a good possibility. Definitely, that's a good theory for sure, man. Because I mean, if they don't want to be caught, that'd be a good thing to, a good idea. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's untelling though. That was an interesting story though. I definitely
Oh yeah.
loved hearing that, man. I mean, I'm interested in this stuff. So, what's your second movie going to be about? If you don't mind
It's
me asking that.
oh no, that's fine. It's actually a continuation from the first one. It kind of starts off where the first one ended because I kind of ended the last one on a bit of a cliffhanger, kind of saying, well, maybe they didn't get them all. Well, it turns out they didn't. So on the second one, it kind of, you know, well, this is going to be actually our spaceship. So we actually in the second one we get our own spaceship. So it's an alien spaceship. So it's not we didn't build it, but we end up basically taking it.
Oh, I thought you might have been inducted or something in the movie, but you actually took the spaceship. I got you.
Yeah. They crash and we take it. I don't want to give too much away, but
I gotta ask, man.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, I think this next one will be kind of fun.
Is that gonna be on YouTube as well, or are you thinking
Yeah,
about putting it on like Prime or something like that?
I'm just putting it on YouTube. But I'm not as much interested in making the money from it as I am just the fun of making the movie. I mean, if whatever they want to pay me, I'll take. But
Yeah,
I
yeah. I know a lot of people put their movies on Prime. You can make a little bit of money.
wonder how you do that.
Uh, I interviewed one guy that has like two movies on there. I'm not really sure.
Huh?
I think you have to go like on Amazon and like request it or something.
I may have to check into that and just see. I don't know if mine will be good enough to be on there though. They're kind of
It,
amateurish.
I mean, you could charge like $1 or something. It'd be
Yeah, yeah, it'd be something anyway. That's more than
definitely.
what I make off YouTube.
YouTube's hard to make money off of.
It is. I make a little, but not enough to live on.
Yeah. I think it's like $5 for each 1,000 views if you get pardoned by
It's well, it depends on the views as well, and it depends on the ads that they play, or if somebody gets like has YouTube Premium. Like
yeah.
that's what I got. I got YouTube Premium, and when I watch somebody's video, I don't see an ad, but I think they actually get more for my view than they do for somebody that watches the ads. But I'm not exactly clear how all that works. I know that I get a listing of where the revenue comes from, and a lot of it is YouTube Premium. So,
That's still pretty cool, man.
yeah, yeah, to be able to make even just a little bit off of something that I enjoy doing.
Definitely. What got you into wanting to like build stuff?
Uh, I've always, I've always been interested in like how things work and building, and I think one reason I got into electronics so much is my dad was an electrician, and I kind of idolized him, I guess. And I always thought it was so, somebody had to be really smart to be able to do the electrical and know all of that like he did and all that. And uh, I don't know, I guess I wanted to be like my dad, but I took it instead of just doing electrical work, I went all the way to electronics, and that's what I was in the army and learned was how to work on electronics. So,
Thanks for your service, man.
oh, oh, thank you. Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
yeah, that's definitely cool, man. We definitely need people that's good at electronics, and we need electricians and everything for sure. That's like a
Yeah,
dying career, pretty much. I mean, it's not a dying career. The money's there, but not a lot of people want to do it.
yeah, that's true. And the location that we live in, there's not. a lot of money. I mean, that's why I work where I do instead of doing electrical because I tried doing like having my own little electrical company and all that, but people just don't have the money to pay around here, and I I could barely make enough to keep maintenance and insurance on the van. So I just kind of gave up. Just went and got a regular job.
Yeah, this is definitely a hard area to be an electrician in for sure.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, yeah, that's definitely an important job though.
Yeah, it is.
You said you've wrote some books before.
I wrote a few. I have one published. The rest of them are just pretty much in the computer, and I might publish them one day, but um, I don't know. One that I actually worked the hardest on was it was before computers or before I ever had a computer and all that. And it was written like in notebooks, and it was in the old house when it burned up. So I think that would have been the one that I would have rather published, but eh.
What's the book about?
Uh, what the old one that got burned up or the one that got published?
The one that you got published.
Oh, it's kind of a science fiction itself. It's called The Smaze. It's actually on Amazon. It's about this guy wakes up from a coma and he realizes that he's in a hospital, but he realizes that the hospital is in a city that's built to hover in the sky because there's a poisonous gas that covered the whole ground, and that's happened after he went in the coma, so he had no idea. And it just starts off from there and kind of just, eh. It's a kind of a short book, but it was kind of fun to write. I actually wrote it for a writing class that I was in and just went ahead and published it afterwards.
Sounds like a good book, man.
uh, uh, After I've read through it a few times and I've read other people's work and stuff, I guess I compare mine to theirs, and I just don't have the experience for it. But it's kind of fun to read. But you know, it's got a lot of holes in the plot and stuff like that that I really didn't know about until the last few years, really. So I think I've gotten better at writing since then. So I might try to publish some more of my books, but they're still not great, but they're books.
Oh, I'm sure they're good, brother. Yeah, that's definitely interesting. Have you thought about doing a movie over that book? Or?
Actually, this second movie is going to be. I started out by writing it in book form, and I actually finished it in book form. And then I decided, well, since everybody had so much fun making the last movie, we'll just, make it into a movie too. So I just converted the book form into a script, but I may still just publish the book too. But I don't want to do it until after the movie comes
I don't blame you.
out.
Yeah, man. You got any upcoming like videos and
Well, actually, I did a video on building this, some of it anyway. Um, and I've been, working on my truck, rebuilding the transmission and stuff like that. I guess my real big plans are just right now the film, the movie and stuff. But it's going to be a while, Got a lot of props to make, and I got to wait till I get laid off in the winter, so I don't, I draw unemployment, so uh, in the wintertime I've got time to fool with all this kind of stuff. Just kind of getting it ready. I'm realizing the year's going by really fast. So I'm realizing, hey, I better get to work on this stuff.
yeah, it's already September. That's crazy. But I definitely appreciate you doing the podcast, man, and I will put your YouTube channel in the description for sure.
Oh, I appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Definitely appreciate you taking the time out of your day to do it.
Oh, no problem. It's fun.
Definitely,
I
man.
always enjoy podcasts.
Me too, brother. I
Yeah.
want to appreciate Luke Fugate for being on. Everybody have a good day and God bless.